So we are here with
Dolan and
Robert Vigna with Immolation.
Okay. One thing which continuously goes through my head today is I cannot believe all of us are here in 2017. I'm thinking back to 1989 when I did a first Immolation feature in my fanzine called Tornado, when you guys were a passionate demo band out of Yonkers, New York.
Totally.
How do you reflect on all this time, getting back all the way to 2017?
It is kind of mind-blowing, I agree. I mean, we never would have thought back then when we were mailing demos out to people all around the world that we'd still be here like 29 years later. So yeah, it's very cool, you know, and I think we still have that passion, that fire that we did back then, all of us, you know, otherwise you wouldn't be doing it either, you know.
True.
So, yeah, I mean, it's cool, it's nice to still be here, it's nice to still be able to do something we really enjoy doing and love doing, so.
Yeah, and I think even at this time, 30 years later, I think it's, we're almost more excited about it. I think we're more comfortable doing it, we're having a better time now, you know what I mean, than we did when we first started, I think, to be honest with you. So we're in a good place, you know, and we get to enjoy it that much more, I think. And yeah, we have a great time, so that's why we keep on doing it, really.
And your story is far from over because there's a new chapter, new album, Atonement.
Yep.
What can you tell us about it?
Number 10. It's
Number 10, wow.
Number 10, yeah.
Yeah,
I think it's a strong one. It's a really good one. I think we're very happy. I think everybody in the band is happy with this one fully, which is unusual. Usually there's always certain aspects of every record that we're not 100% satisfied with, and we always kind of try to think about that the next time we go in the studio. But I think with this one, I think everything really came together really well. I think the songs are very strong, very dark, and I think it's a good representation of the band and its entire career. I think it has so many elements of all of our records in there, and I think we nailed it with this one, you know. But that's not for me to judge. I mean, we're happy with it. Hopefully, the fans will be happy with it. And I think so far the response on the tour has been really well because we're playing a lot of new songs on this tour. So you know, the response has been overwhelming. Actually, you know, people will come up to us after the show and say, "Wow, the new songs are amazing! I can't wait to buy the CD." So it's cool. It's very positive, man. So it's exciting. It is.
Any words?
Yeah. 10 albums, 100 songs in. It's you never think you get that far, you know, and we're pretty happy about that. And like Ross said, you know, I think this album, I feel musically and production-wise, is definitely one of our best. And you know, 30 years down the road, that's pretty good to be able to say that, you know. And you know, I don't feel like we're just saying it. I think the stuff is strong, it's catchy, it's dark, I think it's got, like Ross said, a lot of elements from our whole career, but in their best light, you know what I mean? And every song is very straightforward, to the point, everything, but there's a lot of dark passages, there's a lot of very interesting stuff, a lot of atmosphere, a lot of heaviness, a lot of what we do, but I think just at one of its top levels, you know, that we've done it. And, yeah, we're pretty satisfied now.
Now, you also have a new member in the band.
Yes.
What happened? I mean, there's a change of guitar player, correct?
Yeah, Bill Taylor unfortunately had to step out of the band. He had some personal issues at home that he had to deal with, which really made it very difficult for him to be on tour and to be away for long periods of time. So, you know, it was something that's been kind of on his mind for the last year, you know, and so he finally told us, and, you know, we supported him regardless whether he, you know, we obviously wanted him to stay, but, you know, but we supported his decision and we were behind him because we understood, you know, we thought it was the right thing for him to do. So we have Alex Books in the band now, who's been a longtime friend. We've been friends with Alex since 1988, and he, of course, played with Gorephobia, Incantation. He tours with Master, and he has his own band, Ruinous. So not only is Alex an extremely competent player, and he fit in perfectly as far as that goes, but he's also a great person and a really dear friend. So it was a very smooth transition. You know, it was something that potentially could have been a nightmare for us, especially right here at this point in time. But actually, it was the smoothest transition we could have hoped for. And Alex fits in great, and you'll see tonight. I mean, he's killing it every night. I mean, it's just a pleasure to have him.
When Bill told us the news that he had to leave, you know, the main thing was like, great, you know, it's like obviously, you know, we didn't want him to leave, but we understood, and but now we had to figure out who to get, and the first person that came to mind was Alex, and luckily he was able to do it because we really wanted to keep it in the family. And I mean, Alex was out with us on our first U.S. tour in like '92, so helping out, so it couldn't have really couldn't have been any better as far as a replacement. We wanted to keep it in the family, and we did. So he's been there just as long as we have in the scene and doing his own thing. So it just works out really well. And Bill was very happy to hear that we thought of him because he was trying to figure out who to get. He couldn't think either. We told him we got Alex. He was like, oh, I'm relieved. That's great. I'm so happy. That's a perfect. I don't know why I didn't think of that. He's the perfect choice. So it worked out really well.
Now, despite people coming and going from Immolation, two of you are the two most consistent members. I mean, what is the magic or the secret of your partnership?
I think it's the yin and yang haircut we have going on here.
That's right. That's right.
Although I have to disagree. When I met you, you still had hair.
Yeah, well, we can't count those years. Well, kind of in a weird way, it's true what I just said, because it's like we complement each other, we take over where the other guy needs help, and we've been friends and brothers for forever, and this has been part of our lives the whole time, and we're just like-minded people with the same goal in mind when it comes to the band as well, and it's just we've kind of developed a really good working relationship as far as the music goes, because over the years with every record it's a learning experience. So now it's like we've kind of got it down to the sense like we know how it needs to be done, we do it, and we get in the studio, it's like we get our lyrics together, we work together on that. The music, we kind of go over stuff, we know what works, what doesn't work. If ever I'm kind of like up in the air on something, Ross is usually like, either like, yeah, fail, or, oh, no, that's fine the way you got it, so, it's just the way it is. We have a good, we know what works for this band.
We both support each other, you know what I'm saying? I mean, like Bob says, he picks up the slack when I need help, and vice versa. I pick up the slack when he needs help. But we're both extremely passionate about what we do together. We're more like family. We're like brothers, like he said. He's the brother I never had. So the fact that we're both into the same thing, we've like kind of started this journey together 30 years ago, and we're still, I think, as on fire and as passionate about it as we were back then. I think is very cool. It means a lot to us. And we're very fortunate to have like each other, that have gone through this together. That we each are so like-minded, like he said, and we also have great people with us. With Steve and now Alex and Bill before.
Yeah, we had Steve and Bill in the band for like 16 years. Yeah. Most bands don't even last that long, much less have a lineup that long. So that was great. That shows their dedication. So that's what makes it all work. And now, obviously Bill had to step down, but Steve's still 150%, and Alex is super excited, and he's been working hard, his whole life in different bands, and he's been passionate about it with so much different stuff in his own band, Ruinous now, and then once he got that call, he was just like ecstatic, because he always was a fan of the band and a great friend. But so now for him to be in it and having a good time with it, he's just having a ball right now. So it works out good. You need everyone to be 110% at least. So and I think we have that, and that's what really makes that longevity happen.
Now, what does it take to keep a band like Immolation alive for this long? The record sales are not what they used to be because people steal albums. So right there, you are older, you're no longer teenagers like the way we were 30 years ago. You need revenue to stay alive. So how does it work?
It's challenging, but it's still fun for us. It's still something we really enjoy, actually. It's the one thing in life that gives us a lot of pleasure, and every aspect of what we do, the recording, touring, meeting people, traveling to different cities all over the world. It's all like something we look forward to, So I think that's what makes it easy, and the fact that we're all like-minded and we're all very close as friends. I think that makes it easy, because it is a very challenging business. It's not a lucrative business. We never made a living off of the band. It has its challenges, of course. We're we're doing this tour in a van, which is extremely challenging, especially at our age. But if you want to come home with money, you have to kind of do it the right way. So we've at least learned over the years what to do and what not to do. So we've learned a lot through our many mistakes over the years. So that kind of helps point us in the right direction and make, I think, smarter decisions moving forward now. So. But yeah, you're absolutely right. It's not easy. You really have to enjoy this and be passionate about it. Otherwise, there's no point in doing it, really.
And we've geared our lives around this. So any jobs that we have, we always let them know what's going on with the band. They understand. We make whatever necessary things it takes to make that happen. So, and luckily we've been lucky over the course of these years to make everything work with that. So and we've been around 30 years. So the first 15 years we really didn't make any money. We lost money. So now at least we can go out on the road and know we're going to come back with some money. So it's it's not $1 billion or anything, but at least we know we can go out and not lose money. So that's like an important thing.
Yeah.
And then the more touring we get this year, the better, because then everybody's got the income. So you make it work. Like Ross said, it takes a lot of dedication and a lot of, and the experience helps. The learning experience of which is the best way to do things and the most affordable way to do things, and that's what we've been doing. We make it work.
We've always been realistic too. I was talking to Dylan, the singer of Full of Hell, and they're younger guys. They're in their early 20s, and he was just asking me, very similar to what you asked us about. How is it possible to keep it going for so long? And it's like money was never a goal for us, and I think that's part of it. I think if you focus really too much on that side of things, you'll get disappointed really quickly in this business. So it was just about enjoying the whole process, the whole journey, and being passionate. You have to really enjoy what you're doing, and that was the point I was trying to get across to him. So everything Bob just said as well. So
now I was looking at your schedule of your releases, and it appears to me that you release an album like every 3 years. I think twice you were kind of inconsistent, but about 3.5, maybe 4.
One had a 5-year gap, the other one had a 1-year gap.
Yep, but pretty much 3 years you've been very consistent.
Totally.
But so what happens during that downtime?
Not a damn thing, apparently. Yeah, this past time we started working on the new record. Conspiracy came out in like 13. We did the Decibel tour. Unfortunately, we didn't get anything to follow up. And then, 2015, that year, just kind of like me and Ross got involved in Gospel of Witches for a little bit, and we just started the writing process then. And then I kind of ran into a little block with that, so we did the gospel thing, just live shows, and then started trying to deal with the writing. But I work, I'm working full time too. We're working, so that takes up the time, and I don't know, shit just goes on, daily life. And then the end of 2015, Steve broke his ankle in 3 different places, so that kind of set things back. But then by early 2016, I really got into the gear of writing, and most of the record was written up until. We did the tour with Marduk in May in Europe, and then came back in June, and we were in the studio. So.
Yeah, so that downtime is spent either on the road or, working full-time jobs usually, and just whatever we do with our personal lives, family stuff,
It goes
whatever.
quick though.
It does go quick.
It goes fast. You're like, oh my God, I can't believe it's been 2 years. We don't have an album out yet. What are we doing? But the time goes by fast. So once we get that fire under us that says, okay, it's time to ring the metal bell again,
That's right.
And then that's it, we gotta.
So it's like a cycle.
Pretty much. Gotta get back into it, start writing, and then get it done.
Cool. How long do you anticipate to keep it going?
As long as possible, man. As long as we can. As long as we enjoy it still. As long as we get something out of it. And, as far as satisfaction, as long as we enjoy it and we're passionate still. And as long as we can physically do it, we'll do it,
Yeah.
We're the lab rats.
Yeah.
We're the generation of lab rats for this kind of music, so we'll see how it goes.
We'll see how far we can push it,
So basically for you it's not a phase, it's a lifestyle.
It always has been.
Yeah.
From day one, it's consumed every aspect of our lives, of our existence. We've crafted our personal lives to fit this. And that's It's the truth.
I think a lot of people misunderstand that.
They do. They think it's.
That it's not a phase. It's something you do. You're 100% behind it.
It's something that
3 decades into it. I mean,
yeah,
come on.
Yeah, exactly. You're right.
Cool. Anything else to add?
Nothing. Thank you for making the trip down. We appreciate it. And we look forward to being back out in the States again soon, and in Europe a couple of times this year. I mean,
We're gonna be busy.
Main thing for this album is the tour. So hopefully things will happen, and we'll get out there. So far, so good. We have things in we're planning stuff now. So that's it.
Thank you.